53 years. That's how long the New York Knicks have gone without an NBA championship. 53 years is longer than the iPhone has existed, longer than disco. 3 different LeBrons could have been born and grown up in that time. The Knicks won 0 championships, the most famous arena in the world, the most passionate fan base in basketball, and just 3 finals appearances in 53 years. 3 trips total. Until last week, when this team, led by a 5'11" point guard the league called too small, swept Cleveland 4-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. And now New York is back in the finals, for the first time since 1999. So the question is, what actually happened in those 53 years? And spoiler, it's not the curse, it's worse. This is good basketball, .. 1973. Richard Nixon is president. Gas costs 38 cents a gallon. And the New York Knicks just won their 2nd championship in 4 years. The roster was insane. Walt Frazier, Hall of Famer, the smoothest defender of his era. The same Clyde who would later become the voice of every Knicks broadcast for the next 40 years. Willis Reed, captain. 2-time Finals MVP, the most beloved Knick of all time. Earl Monroe, one of the most stylish guards ever to play. Bill Bradley, who would leave basketball, become a United States Senator for 18 years, and run for president in 2000. Dave DeBusschere, the heart and soul forward, who would later become commissioner of the ABA. Jerry Lucas, a phone book memorization savant, who could recite the Manhattan White Pages from memory. And on the bench, a backup forward named Phil Jackson. Yes, that Phil Jackson. The same Phil Jackson who would go on to win 11 NBA championships as a head coach. With other teams, that 1973 Knicks team was loaded. A future U.S. Senator, a future ABA commissioner, a guy who memorized phone books, and the future greatest coach in NBA history, riding the bench. They beat the Lakers 4-1 in the finals, and then they went home. And the city of New York would not lift the Larry O'Brien Trophy again for the next 5 decades, .. 1985. The Knicks win the very first NBA draft lottery. Their prize? Patrick Ewing, 7-foot generational center out of Georgetown, the presumed savior of the franchise. Ewing would play 15 seasons in New York, 15 Hall of Fame seasons, 0 championships. The bad luck? Ewing's prime years were 1990 to 1997. Michael Jordan and the Bulls won 6 championships in that span. The Knicks couldn't get past Chicago. 1991. Pat Riley arrives as head coach. Slick suits, Showtime championship pedigree from his Lakers run. Riley turns the Knicks into the meanest, dirtiest, hardest-hitting team in the league. 1994. Knicks finally get past the Bulls, make the finals against Houston. Game 7, Madison Square Garden. The whole city is watching. And John Starks shoots 2 for 18. That's not a typo. 2 for 18, 11% from the team's leading scorer. In the most important game of the franchise in 20 years. They lose by 6. Houston wins the title. Pat Riley quits the next year, goes to Miami, builds another contender there instead. 1999. Strike-shortened season. The Knicks sneak into the playoffs as the 8th seed. And somehow, they make a miracle finals run. Allen Houston's bouncing runner eliminates the Heat. Larry Johnson's 4-point play caps an iconic comeback against Indiana. Then they ran into Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and the San Antonio Spurs. Knicks lost in 5. Then came the Isiah Thomas era. Hall of Fame player. President of basketball operations from 2003 to 2008. Stephon Marbury, Eddie Curry, Steve Francis, Quentin Richardson, Jerome James. Isiah traded a first-round pick that would become number 2 overall for Eddie Curry. Curry averaged 13 points and got injured. Isiah was fired in 2008 after the team lost 59 games. He's also the only Knicks executive in history to lose a sexual harassment lawsuit to his own employee for $11.6 million. 2011. The Knicks trade for Carmelo Anthony, the hometown kid, the savior. Cost to acquire him, 4 players, 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a top 15 lottery pick, and cash considerations. Melo played 7 seasons in New York, 0 conference finals appearances, 1 playoff series win. Then came the worst hire in Knicks history. Phil Jackson, the 11-ring legend, was hired as president of basketball operations in 2014. Phil drafted Frank Ntilikina with the 8th pick in 2017. Frank averaged 6 points per game in his Knicks career. Phil's overall record as Knicks president, 80 wins, 166 losses. He was fired in 2017. And the coaching carousel. Derek Fisher was hired as head coach in 2014. He was fired mid-season in 2016. partially because Matt Barnes drove from Los Angeles to upstate New York to fight him over an ex-wife. Between 1995 and 2020, the Knicks had 14 different head coaches. The San Antonio Spurs had one. Greg Popovich won 5 championships in that span. The Knicks won 0 playoff series for an entire decade. 2020, Leon Rose becomes team president, former super agent, CAA. Quiet operator, no ego, no agenda. Tom Thibodeau is hired as head coach. The team finally has stable professional leadership. 2022, the Knicks signed Jalen Brunson to a 4-year deal. Brunson was the 33rd pick of the 2018 draft, 5'11". The league said he was too small. Dallas didn't even match the offer. They didn't want him. 2 seasons later, Brunson is averaging 28 points per game. Last week, he was named Eastern Conference Finals MVP, 33rd pick. Conference Finals MVP, that doesn't happen. 2024. The Knicks trade for Carl Anthony Towns, a 7-foot center who can shoot 3-pointers at a 40% clip. That doesn't happen either. OG Anunoby, elite 6'7" wing defender. Mikal Bridges from Brooklyn. Mitchell Robinson cleaning the boards. Then this year, 2026, Mike Brown takes over as head coach, the former Cavs coach, the defensive mastermind. And Brown turned the Knicks into the best defense in the playoffs. They swept Cleveland, Mike Brown's old team, 4-0. Brunson scored 38 in the closeout game. First Knicks finals since 1999. First New York basketball championship moment since most of you watching were in elementary school. And now they're playing for an actual title. So why might this one be different? 3 reasons. 1. Stable leadership for the first time in 20 years. Leon Rose isn't trying to be the smartest guy in the room. He's hiring competent people and getting out of the way. 2. They finally have stars who are in their prime, not past it. Brunson is 29, Cat is 29, Anunoby is 28, Bridges is 28. This is a championship window, not a closing one. 3. Mike Brown built the kind of defense that actually wins in June. The Knicks held the Cavs to 98 points per game in the conference finals. But the finals are different. Whatever team comes out of the West will be the best team in basketball. Probably Oklahoma City, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, last year's MVP, with a defense that finished number 1 in the regular season. So no, it's not over. The Knicks could lose this finals. They probably will lose this finals. But for the first time in 53 years, New York is 1 series away from finally lifting the trophy again. And up in the broadcast booth, the same Walt Frazier who lifted that trophy in 1973 will call every game. The wait is almost over, or it isn't. We're about to find out. What's the most painful Knicks moment of those 53 years for you? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. Subscribe to Good Basketball. 1 decoded basketball story every week. Real history, real stats, real basketball. Welcome to Good Basketball.